Hey guys, welcome to Khalees. I am Khalii, and if you're watching this video, we like to call you a Bloomerino if you're a fan, so thanks for being here with us. On Saturdays, we do really simple projects that are pretty easy that anybody could do, a beginner, or they're also just great small projects to have for your craft fairs if you sell your items, or to put on your Etsy shop if you have an Etsy shop and you like to sell your handmade goods. So that's kind of our gig on Saturday. So as you're coming on, say hello. Tell us where you're from. Let me get my comments up over here. I am manning the fort by myself, so you're going to see me have to do a little computer work too. But I think I got this. Y'all give me some hearts if you think I can handle it. Think I can do it without my honey bunny today? I'm going to try. I'm going to give it a try. Let's see if my... my notification should come up in just a second. Otherwise, I'll find us here. Make sure I'm in the right place so I can see your comments. I know you're here somewhere. All right, coming up. Coming up. I see 49 people are here. Are y'all telling us where you're from? We are having gorgeous weather in Houston. We just gotta have to brag about it. Tell us how your weather is too. We need to know. Okay, I see some people. Luann's here. She's sharing. Yay, Luann. Yeah, the cool thing is you share this video, it'll be right on your wall. You can go back and watch it. Good morning, Tammy Faye. Virginia says, I can do it. Yes. I need all the support I can get. All right, I'm going to hook up a couple other things while we're going here. Give me just a second, but I'll be welcoming you as well. Hey, Graciela and Patty's here from Texas. Patty, we're in Sugar Land. Near Houston. Where are you from? We would love to know. Oh, guys, if you haven't been to Khalees.com lately, we've been working on revamping the whole homepage, and it looks so stinking cute for spring. I'm so excited. It just popped up. It's been a big project. We're excited. Hey, Debbie. Connie can see me. Yay, Connie. Oh, Pam's from a Georgia Peach. I love that, Pam. All right, I'm going to pull up my Facebook page. I'm just going to share this video a couple places. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Danette. It's cold in Maine, is it, Luann? Oh, my goodness. Hey, Chris from Nashville. Chris, we're coming your way for a retreat this summer. We're excited about it. Partly County here. You're watching at the campground. How fun, Tammy. I love it. Okay, let me do this real quick. I can do it. I've got a whole... Look, I got a checklist to follow. Richard gave me a checklist. He's like, baby, you got this. Y'all, because Kaya does football on Saturdays, so I'll do my live, and then I've got just enough time to get to the game. They practice before the game, so I can do it. All right, I click on this. Okay. All right, here's my video. Let's see who else is here. Hey, Nona. Update on the page. Renee, you like it? Yay! And the new supplies are the best? Yes. That's all I want to hear. Just want to hear what, we try to get what you guys like and what you're looking for. Dang it. I'm trying to do this. Okay. Go gadget. It says, first video, click the 3 dots, edit. Okay. I'm looking for the 3 dots, guys. 3 dots. If I can't get it pretty quick, we will abort that mission because we got a project to make. We got a project. That's okay. I'll bring up your comments here. And we'll go from there. Who else is here? Snow, Cindy says, and Janice is, hello, Janice, good to see you too. Jackie says it's wet and cold in Georgia. Woo! Linda, do we sell our wreaths online? Yes, we do, Linda. Our wreaths that we make are over on our Etsy page, which is Khalees, K-E-L-E-A-S on Etsy. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Debbie, good to see you, and Doris. All right. We are aborting that plan. I'm just going to pull up the comments here so I can pin the supplies when the time comes. Maybe I can do it right now. Y'all, Honey Bunny worked on a special thing on the website to where when you're watching the live video with us, if there's any of the supplies you want to snag during the video, he created a list. So you'll click on that item and then you'll be able to see the supplies we're using and just simply add those to the cart. It doesn't add it like a whole kit, but you can choose what you want out of those supplies. So I'm going to pin that link right now. I'm going to try. I like bossing around Richard. It's more fun than me having to do it. Y'all, it's just easier. Isn't it? I think it's easier to do that. Let's see, I think I found it here. Yay! Bingo! So that's also going to be under kits on the website. So if you ever want to see what we're using on the project we're making on the video, it'll be under kits. Although they're not sold as a kit right now, you just go in there and you order what you want from the kit, from what the products we're using. Okay, I'm clicking on that. I'm sorry, guys. And we're going to select it. Copy. All right. Let's see if we can comment it. I'm hoping we can pin it. Oh, you didn't like that, huh? Let me grab this silly mouse. The mouse is crazy. Hey, Sharon. Janie has 6 inches of snow. Alita, we're about to make this cute little bunny head. It's kind of a smaller one. Look, this is what we're going to make. Hey, Patty. Eventually, we're going to make it. If y'all can quit waiting on me to do this. Oh, that's not it. Wrong. Let's try again. I'll try one more time. Copy. All right, here we go. I think we got it. I get nervous. All right, let's paste it. Okay, you should see that comment. And I'm going to pin it to the bottom. I think I got it. Woohoo! I did it! Okay. Oh, awesome, Wanda. Awesome. Hey, Kathy. All right, guys. So I posted that. The supplies are there at that posted pin. You may not be able to click on it right now, but you can always copy it and put it in a browser. After the video is over, you can. Oh, good, Cindy. I love it. Jen got it. Woo! Woo! Sweating. Telling you. Sweating. All right. I'm going to bring the camera down. And we will rock and roll on our Super Saturday project. Let's do it. We're going to make a bunny head. So it's not a huge one. It's small, so it's a little bit more petite palette. It's going to be a beautiful palette, but it's a size. We're not doing a palette. We are not getting out the paints today. We're not. Sally says, what are the little things you put on the back of the sign to attach your wreath called? I think they're called cable tie mounts. I think that's what they're called. All right, let me move my computer over. Y'all, the whole dang the setup here is always a mess. But I'm getting it. All right, so we're going to use some really cute filler flowers. This is a new egg pick that came in. You can see it? Yay, I did it! Connie clicked the pin and it worked. Holly, freaking Lula. Yes. And here's our bunny head. Okay? And there's a couple different ways you can make this. We're going to kind of do a little of both. You're welcome. So I'm going to try to build it away from me. I may have to turn it around, though, because I may not be able to handle it. But we're going to start. I'm going to try to build it towards you. We'll give it a try. So basically, you need some type of pick that's got a little color. This is more like a spray. It's a longer piece. It's got a grass, a little bit of color. Then I've got a coordinating egg. So I've got the same colors in there. Okay, good. And then this ribbon. All right. So I don't need a whole bunch of foam here on the bottom, just a little. So I've got my block of foam, and I'm going to take it and cut it into a smaller chunk here. So I just want a little piece to go on here to kind of secure everything into. I don't need it to be too big. I'm just going to cut this. This is just floral foam. You can get it at any art and craft store. Okay, I just get a little piece and I just chunk that off. Patty, this sign, I don't know. I bought this at a craft show. A lady made these. And I had her put my company name. Oh, you know what? I might have her company name, Patty. I can give it to you. I saved it. This lady, the name of her company is, her website is a number of things.net. So you can check her out. I don't know the name of the font, but she made that for me. Oh, you hate this foam? Now this is real floral foam. This is not the foam that shreds into those little balls that are horrible that I can't touch. So this is floral foam. It comes in the big sheets. So I love it because to me it's not messy. It's really easy. Now I don't like the noise it makes when you cut it. All right, so we're going to attach this in here. I'm going to use glue, but a little trick I'm also going to use. I'm going to have a couple of little skewers that I'm going to pop up between the Pam says, why can I not watch you live on Safari? I watch live, I have to go to Chrome. Pam, and maybe it's some new update that Facebook's doing. Girl, I don't know. Facebook always changing things up, so it wouldn't surprise me. Okay. So what I'm going to do is flip this around because this bunny head has a little hanger built on it, so we can just use that. So this will be the front, so just pay attention to it. No, Barbara, you don't soak this kind. It's not the kind it's not Oasis, it's different. Hi, Tony. So I'm just going to take and work a couple of these through from the back to the front. Okay, so there goes one. Hey, Kara, how you doing, girlfriend? I hope you're having a good week and weekend. I'm going to work another through. So I got two pokies going through. Can you see them? There they are. Obviously, we don't need it that long. That's a little too long. I'm going to back it up just a hair and back it up a hair. Basically, this is going to work like two of those spikes in Indiana Jones. When we put the foam on there, it's going to impale it good, and we're going to use glue. So I'm going to go ahead and trim those. I just keep things really simple, guys. I don't get too technical. But since we sell the products we make, I need to make sure that's not going to pop off on my customer. And it's going to look finished. So here I'm putting just a hair of glue on the back because I don't want it just to push through. A hair of glue. I don't think that's what we should call it, but just a dot of glue, you know. How you doing, Shirley? And I'm going to grab my a little bit of Spanish moss because I don't like to see the glue. And I'm going to make the miniest ball. A mini ball. And that'll just look like it's part of the wreath now. Boom. Let me zoom in for you. So I've just got that part done. So my two jagged daggers. I think I'm going to have trouble speaking today. Okay, so they're in. Right there. Now I'm going to put my foam on there. I just need to check. They're a little bit too long, but that's okay. I can just cut off a little bit more. And now I'm going to give this a good dunk in the hot glue. Y'all, I use an electric skillet with hot glue. It's nothing fancy. It's just a regular electric skillet. You could buy little versions of this. You could also use a glue gun. I just be very careful with glue guns. They just can burn you up. So I've got the hot glue and I'm pressing it down on my sticks. Look! Hi, Jeannie! Miss Jordan, we sell this form. So we didn't actually make the form. We're just getting ready to make an arrangement on it. Okay? Alrighty. Let's get to the next part. Alright, everybody got that? Very good. Hey, Nancy, great to see you. Happy Saturday. So, like I said, I'm going to try to build this facing you guys. Let's see how much room I'm going to need. So I'm going to grab that grass. And we're going to start by just breaking off a couple sections of this. Shirley, oh my gosh, an ugly flood. Well, okay, be careful. Down here in Houston, we know all about floods. We're intimate with floods lately. Maybe 2020 we're going to have a little more luck with that. So I just tore a couple pieces off there. I got a little purple, a little pink, a little yellow. Cream in that one. There's a couple other colors here we can come back with in a minute. Hey Margie, good to see you. And Anna, how you doing, Anna? Hope you're having a great Saturday. All right, so I'm just trimming off these ends to get a nice clean edge. And we're going to build this. Let me turn it for just a second so I can get a visual of how I want these. Yeah, I want them to kind of come out and down just a little bit. So I'm going to give them just a little bit of shaping, guys. So in our design school class, I call that shaking hands with something. I take it and I manipulate it. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm also going to cut that down just a little bit because we don't need it quite that long. Because I don't want to come out, see my ears here? I don't need this to come out much more than about half the size of my ears. So my shape just comes out a little bit, but we don't want to oversize this or it'll look kind of a little goofy. And that's just harder to get away with as far as design goes. Hi Jacqueline, good to see you, and Linda. All right, so I've got my shape. Let's put this first piece in. Good, lunchtime, excellent. Hey Katie and Marquita. There's that one. So the only thing I'm really kind of paying attention is to my colors on these. And we'll push that in there. That's cute. So far, so good. And over here, I got a little cream and pink. I'll do the same thing. I'm going to cut those down. Oops, sorry. Hey, Sandy. Where are you in Southern California, Sandy? How's your temp there? I hope it's nice. We're 65 today. We're trying to pretend we're Southern California. Here's a touch of pink and white. So I've got that at the bottom over here. I'm going to use it on the bottom over here on this side. Okay. So far, so good. Hello. Hello. All right, now I'm grabbing the pink spray. So these all came off that one piece. I'm just trimming it down because I don't need this to get wild and big. Hey, Sandy. Oh, I already said hi to Sandy. Sandy's going to tell me what her temperature is. Hey, Glenda, you sprinkled. I appreciate you as always, guys. A little pink up top. And this one doesn't have a color, so we'll just add it to the bottom down here. Oh, you know what? I put glue on that, but it's a little too long. Let me trim it. That was called the premature glue. You know, we could use a little right here. We'll bring it on this side. Okay, so I kind of got my little grass fern right there. So we got a shape started. All right. Oh, it's a beautiful day, Sandy. I love it. Thanks, Jackie. Oh, Laura, y'all are in the same area. How cool. All right, so we still have this left. And we're going to hold on using this in a minute. We're going to bring this one in first with the egg and get that distributed on both sides. So the tricky part is we only have 3 eggs in this pick. But this is a smaller project, so I don't want to overdo it too much on the cost. So I'm just going to keep these, we just may not use the bigger egg, we just might use the 2 small ones. Or we might be able to put the big egg in the center. So I'm breaking this into 3 sections. I love these, guys, those berries like that are just, they make my heart happy. Brenda's in South Carolina. Look, Faye's in Savannah. Sandy, 69? Okay, well, shoot, you are a little warmer still. I think we're only 66. But the sun's coming out. The other day was 80, guys. It was like, what happened? All right, this one has a little pink, a little blue, a white berry. So I think I'm going to go on this side over here. And I'm just watching my sizing. Now you can see I'm putting it more towards the center. Because if I put it on the edge, it's going to be out too far. And I need to start working kind of covering up my foam in the middle. So I'm going to grab a pin. This is a floral pin that you can get at any craft show. Oh, Kim, stay warm if you can. So the only thing I just did is I trimmed that down a little, because I just buy the one size and I just trim them down shorter, because we don't want it to go all the way through the foam. We just want it to hold that piece in. Okay, there we go. And now that piece is in. This little chunky berry, I'm going to kind of move a little bit behind the blue. There we go. Now we've got the green egg with all the killer pink berry that I really love. And we're going to put it on this side. 66, Laura? Cool. You guys are getting snow? I can't believe you looked out your window and saw snow. I mean, it is February, but you wouldn't know it around here. So we got our mint green. Y'all, mint green is a popular color coming for next year. Look, we're ahead of the trend already. Okay, on this side, and you see I'm shaking hands with it. I'm manipulating everything and kind of getting it some dimension in here. You don't want everything to be flat. I'm going to do the same thing, cut down that pin. Y'all, today you can notice I'm teaching more of how I do in our design school. So you can kind of get a feel for how the class goes. Our class opens again February 20th. I'm going to push this in here. So I just cut that floral pin down a little bit. I like it. Now we have one cream egg left, which we could kind of use, I think, coming out of the bottom. But let's wait to get our bow on, and we'll see how it works. Hi, Dana. Hey, Karen. Great to see you. All right, grab that same pick, and let's come back with this one a little bit. I'm gonna space it out. I'm just tearing it in sections. I usually just try to save my hands, guys. I've had a couple of hand surgeries over the years, so if I can tear something, you'll always see me tear it. Oh, thanks, Terry. I have to turn it sometimes to check it, you know. It is helping that I can see it on the camera too, so I'm like, okay, that doesn't look too terrible. It's definitely harder than looking at having it the other way. Woo, 17, Jennifer. All right. So I've got a good bit of pink there. I've just got this pink left, so I want to think about where I'm putting it. I've got this pink here, so I think I really need to have this pink come down just to kind of help, what's the word I'm trying to bring pink to this side too, okay? 65 and cold, Jeanette? Oh, girl, it ain't, 65's not that cold. Come on now. It feels good out here today. But I can get it. I can be cold too if it's really wet. Here's a white one. It's got a little bit of pink, so I'm going to use it over here. Kind of coming from the top a little. And then I'm going to give it some motion and movement. Now look how cute that's getting. Nice and full. Nice and full. All right. Y'all don't touch glue unless you have fingers that can handle that. All right. So I've got a couple of pieces left. A little bit of yellow in here, but we didn't have too much yellow in anything else, so I might wait on using that. And we've got our other egg. But we are going to be putting the bow on, and then we'll see what else we want to add, okay? All right. Vicky says, do most of your people take your class sell? Oh, yeah, a lot of them do, Vicky, but you can certainly make any project for yourself. We don't teach business in our class, so you'll just be learning techniques, and you do get a discount on all our supplies when you're in our class, so it might be beneficial. And there is no commitment when you're in the class. It opens twice a year, but there is no, you don't have to stay forever. You can stay for a few months. You can, a lot of people stay and they don't leave. They love it, but it's up to you. And everything's recorded, so you don't have to be there at a certain time. You will be invited to join our community, but you can be very active in it, or you can be passive. You don't have to be always commenting or any of that kind of stuff. We'd love for you to, because we'd like to get to know you more and hang out with you. But if not, you're welcome also. So I'm still trimming down my floral pins, and now I'm going to clean up my foam in there with some moss around the edges, guys. Hey, Brenda. Brenda's an example of someone in our class who really doesn't sell her stuff, but she's very active in the group. She makes projects when she can. I hope you don't mind, Brenda. I'm spilling your beans. And, but we all know who Brenda is. We enjoy being with her and hanging out. Hey, Ruth, how's it going? Yeah, we'd love to have you guys. And the course is $30 a month. You get a new tutorial each week, including supply list, discounts on your orders. We have wreath kits about once a quarter for design school. And you get access to a community. Plus, you can get in there and share your stuff with really supportive people who want to help you get better at designing. So you are definitely welcome. Oh, it's in Wyoming, cold. 45 in South Carolina. Oh, let's see here, Patricia too. Awesome. Thanks, Patricia. Thank you for commenting and helping her. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Jen. You guys are so sweet. Okay, I'm still coming in around. Oh, Lord, some squirrel just did a gainer off the roof, guys. Let's hope Ari doesn't notice. So the reason you might be asking is, Clee, why didn't you put the moss on first? The reason I didn't put it on first is because then I got to fight it to get through with all these picks. And I don't use a pick machine. It's because, y'all, I got ADD. I got to get this stuff made and done. I just need it. I want to make it pretty. And I want to spend a lot of time having to prep stuff. So that's why I try to get really great supplies and teach you techniques to help you save time too. It's beautiful, Vicki. Oh, I love that. Take what comes. Yeah, we all have to. So I'm also going on the sides because you wouldn't want to see that funny foam on the side. We want that to be all neat and pretty. And I'm kind of a moss freak anyway. I need an excuse to get out the moss. Oh, Sophia, you know what? We also teach this type of design without that. It's just this time it makes it a little bit faster and a little bit easier. So you could do it either way, totally. Oh, Laura, class is $30 a month. If you haven't joined our wait list, if you want to get on it, it's over at Cleese.com. Once you click on the button that says join the wait list, it tells you a little bit more about it. See, Nancy doesn't sell them. She gives them away to family. Anna, how many months is school? Anna, it just continues. It's every month, new projects, new techniques. I'm always coming up with a better way to do stuff. So you can stay in there as long as you're enjoying what we're learning. You can stay in there as long as you want. Whether it's a hobby or for your business, either way. Brenda, thank you so much. I figured you wouldn't mind. All right, I'm coming in here. Y'all, for the longest time when I was a teacher, I made floral arrangements, and I'd come home from work, and I literally would be like, I love to get in my happy place in my studio and just get out here, which is the garage, which is where I'm teaching you today from. We now call it the bloom room, but I called it my happy place, and I love to come out here and just play with all this stuff and create. It's just, I don't know, my grandmother had a nursery, and one of my aunts was a florist. She's my great aunt, and I think maybe it's in our blood. I can't get away from it. Okay, so it's pretty much cleaned up. Guys, I've got the fluffiness. I'm happy with that. Here's what we got so far. What I'm going to do is we're going to tie a bow. Okay? Yeah, Karen, our classes are completely online, so you can be in another country and be in them. Every week we post a new tutorial. It usually comes out between Thursday and Sunday. And I'll shoot you an email and post in the Facebook group. The new class is out and you can watch it. All right, my sign is crooked. We must straighten that before we tie the bow. Okay, I'm gonna get out my Easy Bow Maker. I like to use that. Oh, Brianna, cool. Jan, awesome. I love it, Jan. Well, we will throw it all at you. This week's, last week's tutorial was, we made a bunny centerpiece, and our challenge was, what I wanted to do, I'm going to show you real quick before we keep on. This was our last week's class. We worked on shape a little on this, but I also, you see this void where there's nothing? I really wanted to try experimenting with that, where you have a piece where there's nothing. How would you support that? How would you make the structure? So that was our latest tutorial. Kathy, the ears are from our store. It's if you click on that link at the bottom, it will take you to all the supplies we're using tonight. Or today, it's not night. Hey, Judy from San Antonio, another Texan. Thanks, Rachel. Stacy, #1 student. #1. No, I can't say that. Stacy is in our class too. You know, I love all of y'all. All right, I trimmed it right there. Add an angle. Guys, we make bows on Wednesday. That's not even part of our class. It's free here on Facebook. You can watch us make bows. Come to the center and twist. Okay? Hey, Georgie Lee. Lily has been since the beginning. Yes, ma'am. We're going to go out 5.5. I'm going to go a little smaller than I normally do, and I'm going to twist. Thanks, Jeannie. I'm so glad. Faye, if you click the link before, it'll take you to the rabbit grapevine. It's in our shop. Brenda, that's right. That's what I was getting at, that comment I was making, is it is a super stress reliever. I love creating. And back then, I was just making for myself. And then I'd have friends who'd be like, would you make me something? Oh, heck yeah. And then I did my first little craft show, and I was hooked. So definitely, we would love to have you at any stage. At any stage. Christina from Italy. Woohoo. Deanne, I like these. These are from Lowe's Hardware. Cobalt. They're called a mini bolt cutter. All right. Tanya's on the wait list. Hello, wonderful Tanya. Y'all, design school opens up on the 20th of February. Coming up. I'm just cutting that at an angle. And notice I have a big bruise on my arm. What the heck? What the heck? All right. Nina, thank you. Thanks, Linda. Y'all like that one? I'm going shorter at 5. This is a simple arrangement, so we're not going with a whole bunch on it, guys. Hey, Ann, how you doing? I love it, Veronica. That's sweet. You're a beginner? That's cool. Faith sold 2 wreaths on Etsy. Faith, dancer, prayer, girl. Way to go. I know you were excited. Kim, if you don't know anything or where to start, girl, you will just come in and just take your time and watch some tutorials. And then what I encourage you to do is, once you see a project that you're like, I think I can do that one, then you can go all in on that project. I literally teach step by step by step. So even if we have some basic tutorials you probably want to start with, but once you can look at any of them anytime and decide which one you want to try. And the way I teach is super basic. The reason I do that is so you don't feel intimidated and you can just take it step by step. The projects are broken down into steps. Like if we were doing this bunny ear in design school, we would first make the base. Then the second one would be how to add the greenery in the background. So kind of like I'm teaching today, but there's no chit chat. It's step by step, so you can just follow along. If there's anybody in the class who can kind of give her some confidence on if she can handle it or not. I don't know if any of you were beginners when you joined. Okay, normally guys, so watch on Wednesdays to do bows, guys, if you're not in our class. So normally I would put an attachment wire here, but I'm going to just pin this into the foam. So I'm just going to put a pin in. I don't need to do all the wire. And then I'm going to pull that down right there, okay? And trim it off. Boom shakalaka. Okay, so my pin's in the back, and there's my cute little bow. Really simple. It's a 3-loop bow. We call that in our class, we call that a 2-1, 5.5, and 5. Okay. You're welcome, Penny. Renee says, what's great about our tutorials, they're in segments, so you can watch each step over until you get it. Oh, perfect. That's the perfect description, Renee. Absolutely. And I hadn't really ever taught floral design until 2 years ago, so I feel like I'm getting better at breaking it down easy for you. That's right, Laura. Exactly. Yeah, if you do have a business, we have videos in there, like we did some videos on shipping centerpieces are a little tricky. So we've got some videos on that. And lately we did a project where we were selling small items, so we showed you how to ship that too. So we got you covered on some of that stuff. Okay, I'm going to cut this one with the pink. But Wednesday, Tammy, woohoo! Hey, Tiffany! Stacy says, I had never made a floral grapevine wreath in my life before I started. If you want to look at some of our designs, go to Clee's business page. She features her students on her Facebook page. And she has come a long way. Yes, she has. Yes, she has. Absolutely. I can see you guys are getting way, way better. Way amazing. I mean, blowing it out of the water. I just tied a little knot. I did that because I wanted to cover that center cable tie. Karen, yes. Yeah, believe me, I didn't use zip ties for the first 15 years of doing craft shows and stuff. And then one day, a light bulb went off. And I've never gone back. At first, it was frustrating at first because it took a while to figure that out. It felt different in your hands and stuff. But it's been lovely to have it now. Okay. I've got my pin. I'm going to be pushing into the foam. There's our bunny. Bunny's back. So I'm just going to put it right in here. I'm going to make sure I can get it in there. Okay. Oh gosh, cutie patootie already. So let me just take and I cut that pin a little too small, so I'm going to slide it out and I'm going to put another one in. Okay, I cut it too little. No worries. Let's get another one. I wish I wouldn't have done that wrong, but it happens. I'm afraid if I don't get it right, it's going to pop out of the foam. So I'm going to put a bigger one in. Hold on, I got to get where I can see it. Come here, booger. All right. So I got this bigger pin in. Now I'm going to cut it just a little bit less. I was overzealous cutter. Okay, I just trimmed it a little. Shirley says she's so detailed in her instructions, and since it's segments, you kind of feel like she's working with you one-on-one. I love her design skills. Shirley, thank you. That is really all we want. We want you to feel like you can do it, number one. You know what? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If I can do this, you guys can do this. Okay, I'm holding it. I've glued it. I'm holding it and I'm fluffing. Don't be fluffing without holding it or you're going to rip it right out. Okay. Let me turn it to me. I'm going to curl those tails for just a sec. All right. Come here, bunny, bunny. I just curl those up just like if you're curling somebody's hair. I really love curls. You'll notice that in my designs. Linda says, I love that ribbon. If you're on the wait list, you may not be able to get in class. Linda, we have plenty of space. You should be fine. You should be good. It's just you have to join when the class is open. That's the only thing. We're just not open every day. We bring on new students twice a year. So that's why it's time sensitive. If you're already in class, you don't need to do a thing. You're in. You don't have to rejoin. You're good to go. Okay, there is that, guys. Now, are you going to teach me overdoing lives scared to death, Tanya? You know how you get better at lives, girl, is you have to do them. You have to do them. You have to get on there and do them. I've had some disastrous lives. I promise you, you will live, you will survive, you will make some friends over it all. All right. Oh, that's pretty. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to use some of these pieces to bring some interest up. So it's not a flat design, it's got more dimension. So I'm going to cut a couple of these pieces, kind of short. Kim, do we have classes for beginners? Absolutely, Kim. When you come into design school, you will have access to lots of tutorials immediately. So what we'll do, and what I can probably do, since we've got some people asking, is I can probably set you up on some easier projects to start with and give you recommendations. That's a great idea. But when you come in, you're going to have access. This will be the last time you get access to everything. Starting in the summer when you join, you won't get access to the entire course because we have a little over 100, 102 or 104 tutorials in there. So once you come in, there's a lot. But you'll look at the pictures and you'll say, okay, I think I'm going to try that one. That looks like something I can try. And then you're just going to watch the videos first. Before you spend any money buying any supplies or do anything, I want you to just watch a few videos and see if it's going to be for you. Oh, that one had that yellow, guys. I don't think we're going to use the yellow because I only had one piece of it. Okay, so I added a little grass to the top. Now I'm going to add a little bit of this to the bottom. It's got a little blue and this cream egg. And for a minute, I'm going to take the cream egg out. We'll place that at the last. Oh, you're welcome, Carolyn. I'm glad I happened to be on there and I saw you. She was making a St. Patrick's Day wreath. It looked pretty cool. It was a custom order. It looked really nice. And I hope you finished it. I don't know if you finished it on the video. I had to get my act together over here. I'm going to trim this a little shorter because I just want to come in a little bit on that bottom part of the bow. Come down here. Just kind of have that. And then got a little bit of a bigger leaf. I'm going to go right up in there. Okay. You finished it? Fantastic! Delphia, thank you so much. This is a little bit longer Simple Saturday project, but I thought it'd be fun. How about the little blueberries going down? If you can't get them stuck in well, we can always pin them, okay? It's always an option. But I'm going to just stick them in down here. I think those will be pretty kind of to the front. So that's important in your design that you have layers. You've got a back layer, a mid layer, and a front layer. So that's what I'm working up now. I like to break the planes of the ribbon also. I like the planes of everything because it makes the design dimensional. So I've got this green one. Let's take that to the top and bring it towards the center. Okay. Going up here. I got it. And we'll just bring it forward just a little bit. Kind of come in and cuddling all around. We've got our cream egg. And I think we can get away with using that cream egg right in the center. Yeah, it's just a little piece of foam too. And it makes it easy to work with too. Now, I'm not going to put a bow on her head, but I will tell you what would be cute. Oh. Is a little bit of a bow at the top up here. would be super cute too, like a little bow with a little bit of sprig on it. You could do that. I don't have this white flower here. Let's go ahead and put that in. Nancy, exactly. That's what I think we could do. In design school, she says, I think you can mark the tutorials as a beginner or expert. Absolutely, I could do that, totally. I probably need to do that anyway. Although, I really like to think the way that we teach, you could really do any of these projects. Generally, when something's a higher level project, that just means it has more to it. What do you think, guys? That's right. The deal of the week does end this weekend. Thanks, Debbie. It's good through Sunday. Okay, y'all. Let me come up and show you how cute he is. Look here. It's stinking cute. Pretty simple. We basically used 2 picks, a little foam, ribbon, and the head. Did you like it? Can you do that? Okay, Bloomerinos, we're going to start off with a wreath base, and then we're going to add some gorgeous greenery to kind of shape out our design. So I'm using something a little different today. This is a Ginkgo leaf. I love the way this looks. It is a really neat greenery to use, especially for spring, because it kind of looks like cabbage leaves, and it gives this really gorgeous, like, neat green texture, and they're just really cool. So we're going to put this in first to kind of shape out our base. We're going to cut down our bush. We're going to need some wire cutters and trim them right off your bush. Just like this. So I'm going to get started here by putting these in. And I'm going to start kind of and decide what shape do I want my piece to be. And for me, I just like to work on the left side. So I'm going to do that right now. So every time I put in a piece, I also have to come in and add a little Spanish moss to cover up my glue. So I'm going to do that right here. I'm going to make a little Spanish moss ball and put it in there right on my glue. I'm just going to kind of start to separate it and put these pieces in. It kind of fans out really fun like this, and we can start to put these pieces in right here. I'm going to go this way. I am really excited about working with this color palette with all the purples. If you've never designed or worked with purples, you're going to be shocked. There's a lot of people who love purple, the color. So they want it for their home. They want it for their accents and their seasonal pieces. And you can go anywhere from the deep purples to the lavenders. It doesn't have to be trending. It can just be that some of your customers will like that. And when you're going into the spring or early summer, I think purple's a lot of fun. So I'm going to kind of come down here, keep adding a little bit more. And you want to shape out each of your stems when you're using it. See how these are just so pretty, organically pretty? I'm going to keep bringing them in. How about to right here? I'm going to go to right here. And then I'm going to just kind of change direction in a second, so we can go the other way. Let me put this one in. So we got this nice little flow going up and around. And one of the things you'll have to learn as you start to design more is you have to kind of draw people's eyes in different directions. And how are you going to do that? So that's one thing I like to teach in designs. Let's bring one more in. I think we'll go right here. Okay. Really, really pretty. So we got a great base of the Ginkgo in. I like that. It's looking good. I'm gonna put my Spanish moss in there. Let's put one more maybe up here for a little height. And we're gonna have some left. So that's good because you're gonna wanna have some greenery left from your 2 bushes so you can come in and add it to different locations as you start to put your design together. All right, come on in, buddy. Let's put a little bit more moss in here. So I use the moss to hold the glue, but also to hold space in the wreath sometimes, because that kind of secures your pieces really nice. And it's a technique I've used for years, and I love it. Now, you're gonna grab your next stem, and it has berries. It has like a little of like a hydrangea cluster, and then a really nice fern. This is such an easy stem to work with. These are great. I'm gonna take and separate it out, and we're gonna cut it into 3 different pieces. So I have 2 of these, and I'm going to cut them to 3 sections. Cut it down, baby, down. I'm doing about, I usually like to cut them to about 3-inch stems. So you see how here I'm separating it? Just cut it and you get that nice little cluster on its own. Don't be ever afraid to cut up these stems into different pieces because you can make them go so far. And definitely shake hands with this. If you don't know what shake hands means, that is a term I use in design school. What it means is we're going to take and we're going to use all these great wires. You know, I only work with nice quality florals that really hold up well for my customers. And so I really like to just shape it all up. You want to use the wires that are in there. Okay? Now, these berries and these little hydrangea clusters on here, they're going to work like our main flower in this. It's going to be different. It's going to have this real natural look. So I need to have good distribution of these over the whole design. So I've got to think about them when I start to put them in. Now, notice how fun this is like. This reminds me kind of like a wisteria, how it comes and trails over. So these kind of pieces are great to use on the edges right here, where it can trail over and out. So I'm going to go right into my glue over here. And then I'm going to bring it in over here to the side. If you don't know what a glue skillet is, I'll be happy to share our video with you about that so you can learn all about a glue skillet and have your own. But that's what you see me dipping them into, kind of off camera, right over here. Okay? Now I got another little hanging one. Man, I love these hanging ones. I love anything that hangs or trails or is curvy. If you didn't know that, now you do. Okay, so I'm going to use this one kind of opposite down here. Now, our flow goes up and over. So I need that hang to match that up and over look. So I can't just stick it in down there. I've got to have it kind of come in here to go up and over or up here. And I'm going to go, I think, right here. Oh, I love this. I love this. Putting my glue on, I'm going right in this section right here. And make sure you're coming behind and you're double checking that you have plenty of moss in there. Now see how quickly it's coming together? When you work with good quality materials, things build up faster. There's a lot less labor involved. Now I'm working with the pretty berries. Look at this. I'm shaping it up. I want to get some little bit of shape going on. And we're going to put one of these right here, kind of going up into this area. I gave it a swirl in my glue. And now I'm coming right in here. I'm going to fluff out. Oh, you see those ginkgo leaves going to work on this? This is pretty. Pretty. I'm loving it. Okay, now let's come down and up in the next section. So I'm going to use this one right here. And we're going to do the same thing. Shake hands. My big pet peeve is leaves being backwards. So I'll work hard to try to keep them from being backwards. I'll flip them around. I hate it when they're backwards. Ugh. All right, and I'm going to come right down here. So we got a great distribution so far, good spacing on here. We're doing excellent. I like the look we're creating. Make sure you come back over that glue with Spanish moss. I'm going to tuck it in there, and I'm going to hide the glue, but then I'm also going to use it to get in there and hold it in place. That looks really good. And these are such great wired stems. You can pull them out, and you want to do that because you want to create depth, because that means you're going to be able to sell your wreaths for more if you're a seller, or if you are making them for yourself, your wreath's going to be unlike anybody else has in the block. And when you create all this depth, it's going to make your little heart so happy every time you walk past it. That's what I like. All right, we have these smaller ones. So I'm going to take this one, and it's going to tuck right here, right to the side of that ginkgo, and I'm going to try to be neat and clean when I put this one in, because I kind of have a termination point for my florals over here, and I don't want it to be too messy. So I'm going to try to tuck it in, make it kind of pretty, just like that. And what I'm going to do is take this little piece, we're going to cut that off, and we're going to use it to hide the glue so it's a little prettier right here. So I'm going to just trim it off. We're going to put a little glue on the back. And we're going to go just right on that place. I'll put a little glue right there. And we're going to just let this lay right on top. Watch your glue strings if they're getting you. Got a pretty good one there. All right, and so that has a nice starting point to flow from. We can always add more greenery And we'll work on a little detail there, but I want to make sure I had a bigger piece to hide the mechanics of the glue there. And then we're going to use this last piece right in here. So I've got a good flow of purple, and I've got my white, and I've got my good berries working all the way up. I could even divide this into two if I wanted. And I could put a little more of the, one of them up there, split it, and have a little bit here and a little bit there. I think I'll do that. Oh, this is such a fun one. If you're a purple lover, let me know in the comments, because usually I'm always so amazed. My design school students will be like, I love purple. We have a lot of people who love it. And they're ready to work with it every time we do. All right, let's come up here. We'll go in this section. And we're going to put that berry. And I just kind of went between those two little places. Looks good. Now, before we get to the twiggy part, we're going to put the grasses in. I want you to step back and look for holes right now. And so that means you're going to look out on the shape of your design. And then wherever we have like a little hole, like here, we need a little bit more greenery in here. That's where we're going to bring some more greenery in. And we're going to start to kind of check the inside and check the outside. You're going to want to do both. Just check that line. So when you're checking the line, you're stepping back from your work and your design, and you are looking at the perimeter and the inside. If the inside of your wreath is open, you want to make sure you are giving it a good line. A really good line. I'm going to bend that one out. There we go. Oh, perfect. Let's put a little bit on the outside here. And I'm taking a little bit of care on the perimeter right here, because this is where our wreath starts and it goes around. I don't have direction changes in this design, so it's a little bit different. It's fun. It's fun to do these. I'm going to tuck this one up and underneath. Oh, you want to make sure it's going into the grapevine, not just going through the back. Perfect. See how pretty it looks down there now? It looks good. Yeah, that looks great. Come on in here, buddy. All right, now let's go up into here and add a little bit more in there. So this process will continue on until you are happy with what you are seeing. Let's go right in there. Oh man, and then we're going to make it wispy. We're going to make it wispy next. I'll get so excited. All right, let's come to the top. Let's go to the top, and I'm going to trail over with these. Come bring these over. I'm going to bring this one in right here. Oh yeah. And then let's do one just a little bit higher above. And I'm going to have one piece left from my Ginkgo bush, and I think I'm going to hold on to it just to make sure I don't need to fill in anywhere else, you know, at the last minute, in case there's some little area I need it. This right here is a gorgeous wreath, guys, which is 2 supplies from Compilation.com, and we haven't even got to the next level, so we got more to go. But I love it already. Now we're to the grass part. So we're going to put the grass or the twig, or sometimes the filler flower. In this case, this is going to work like a double doozy. So in design school, we talk about filler flowers and grasses and why we're using them. And here we're using this as 2 for 1. So you're going to take this, and it's easy to work with because all you got to do is just take and cut these down into sections. If you tear them, then that just goes a little faster and a little bit easier on your hands. And you can save this wire for other projects you have going. Once you do that, you do have to kind of trim up the ends. All right, just make them neat and clean. You always have to make them neat and clean, otherwise you're gonna have a mess. We're ready to start putting these in. Our flow starts here. So you wanna start here and work all the way up, and I want a little of this drama everywhere in here. I don't wanna just have it just in one spot. I might actually start up and work down. So that way I make sure I get the drama at the top. So let's go in here. Come on, drama. I love putting twigs in, and flowering twigs and grasses are beautiful. So I'm gonna bring my first piece in, and I'm gonna manipulate it, give it all that movement we talk about. So important. Now this functions as its own little drama here. So we're gonna kind of let that hang there. We're gonna come a little bit down. It's got its own cool drama. I've never had a berry or a twig that I didn't like. Pretty much. Never. Okay, we're gonna push this one in. This one's gonna go right here. Beautiful. And now I'm gonna work a third one. How about a third one in more to the, maybe to the outside right here. Okay, isn't that pretty? And we're kind of creating this line that's coming down on the outside. You know, like a horse's mane? That's what we're kind of doing right now. Bring this one down a little bit more. So pretty. And all of these grasses are working to the outside. And that way, this keeps this very interesting, very different. And like, we want it to be different than you could just pick up at your local store. We want it to have flavor. And we want to say we made it ourselves. And we, you know, you can make your own designer wreaths. You don't have to go buy them. If you want to make your own, we're here to show you how. Let's bring one more into here. Now, if the idea of this just being on the outside just totally freaks you out, Clee, I have to have some from the inside. That's okay. Go ahead. You cut yours a little bit shorter and put some from the inside. But I am going to keep mine all on the outside here. Try to keep people's eyes just going, whoa, so pretty. I'm going to put this leaf here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're going to put number 6 kind of coming over the front. Still working on that outside, but just coming over here. Now, if you wanted to do this and you wanted to keep going all around, you could just get one more bush of everything and you would be set. You could come and complete the circle. I love making things asymmetrical like this. So, beautiful. Do you ever have some pieces of ribbon left that you're like, what am I going to do with these short rolls of ribbon? And I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to find pieces of that ribbon that coordinates and goes together, like the collection we're using today. And you're going to make the cutest little scrap bow, and it's really easy to do. And I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to start off by grabbing some ribbons that coordinate together. Here I'm working with a really pretty purple color palette. You can see I've got dark and light and check and just a bunch of different colors with purple in there. So they're different shades of the same color. And I'm going to start off with a base that's kind of really bold. So I'm going to start with this. It's going to be a cute little plaid. And I've cut it at about 12 inches long. A regular standard bow we would go from 12 to 14 on both sides of the bow. So we're going to do that here. Okay. So I've just dovetailed both ends. So that means I just fold it and cut up to make the little dovetail. And that's going to start at the base. And all I've got to do is just build up from there. So I'm going to cut another one. And even if you don't know like the order you want to put it in, that's okay. Just start taking your scraps and cutting them. We're going to start with everybody at the 12 inches to start because we're going to build out a little base. I think you're going to like this kind of bow. We've done this a couple of times, but I don't think we've done one for the spring season before. It's fun to do these for different seasons, and you're going to find you're going to have pieces of ribbon left that, you know, you need to use up, and you can add these little bows or big bows to almost anything, and they kind of give you that different look. All right, so now I've got that one done. So I've got the check. So here comes all our 4 patterns. Now this is all wired ribbon, so you can, you know, make it go up or down or move it around. It's got movement to it. Let's bring our purple in. All right, we're gonna bring it in. I'm gonna trim it. So once I kind of get my size, I just build up from there. Now let's start to layer it once I get my dovetails done. And we're gonna layer this up. So let's say, okay, maybe I'll put the solid in the back and then I'm gonna crisscross it just exactly how I want it here. All right, and I can kind of see a pattern starting. All right, now, so as you start to build up your little crisscross right here, then we can take and pinch it in the middle and kind of see how our bow's gonna look. Okay, we need some more. That's not enough. So let's cut some more pieces, okay? And we'll start to lay them out again. And let's do 2 of every piece and let's see how that works. And the cool thing is you don't have to make any of these the same. We're going to just layer it up. Now, that's kind of a good background base that we just saw. So what if we started making them a little bit shorter, take off about an inch, and doing the same thing for our second piece. Now, if you want to know where we're going to use this bow in the end, let me know in the comments, and we'll share with you the link of that video where we end up using the bow. But right now, why do you think we're going to make these a little more narrow? Not narrow, but shorter. Why are we going to make them a little bit shorter than the first piece? So I'm going to give you a second to kind of pop some answers there in the comments. I don't want you to get all worried about measuring perfectly on this. This is like a scrap bow. It's supposed to be a lot of fun, and we don't have to worry about it just being perfect. So every time I cut a piece, I'm just cutting those little dovetails into the back. And we want them a little bit shorter. So see how this one's a little shorter? Perfect. We're going for about an inch shorter altogether. And I'm dovetailing this one. All right, now let's do one more of the check. It's going to be so fun. And, oh, I dovetailed it first before I even cut it. That's because I'm getting brave. Let me see, right about there. All right, so all my different pieces are cut. And now I've got two of each piece. One that we did at 12 inches, and the other one we did, I would say, at about 10 or 11, something like that. So take your shorties and pull them off. So we're going to use those. Did you guess why we're going to use them? We're going to use those in the front, or I would call in design school the foreground of the design, the foreground of the bow, the front of the bow. Because they're shorter, they're going to let that background layer show up. So you're going to see that right now. All right, let's turn these and start to build our base. So I'm going to put a purple in. I'm going to layer this one kind of crisscross. I like that. And then I like a little separation between the drama colors. So I'm going to take and put a nice check in. Okay, and just keep gently twisting them. Crisscrossing, rather, not really twisting. And then I'm going to bring this one. How about this one? We kind of go like this. Oh my gosh, we're building this up so cute. All right, let's put on the next layer. Let's go. So now I want, since I have this purple here, just kind of make sure you're going across it. Okay, that's a little different right there, right? And then what about this? We want to go opposite this one. Ooh, we are making this so stinking cute. And then let's have this little check go opposite that one. And then this purple, maybe we'll work it right here. All right, now that we've done that, we kind of created almost like a star on the table. And the kind of the trickiest part will be to start to kind of move them just a little and start to pinch and gather this right here in the center. Just pinch and gather. Things are going to shift a little bit because you got to get them either to the right or the left of the center here. All right, once you start to pinch and gather, you're going to create the middle of your stinking cute bow. Look at this. Look at it popping up already. Oh my goodness. Look how cute. And all of a sudden, this little trim, like spare ribbon bow, is adorable. Now I'm fluffing a little bit here, but make sure you're happy with how you've got it, and look how cute that is. Now, you need to grab a wire or a cable tie or a pipe cleaner, whatever you want, whatever you prefer to use, and we got to make sure we're grabbing through that center and getting it nice and tight. All right, so I'm going to use my little green cable tie, one of my favorite things to use. Add some pressure, get it on there, and you can put it pretty tight. And now I've got to fluff it back out again. Look how cute this is going to be. So perfect. And what a great use for all that ribbon that's just kind of like, you've just got little bits left. Oh my goodness, y'all. So stinking cute. Now, trim off this part of the cable tie. Right here, I'm just using a little wire cutter to cut that off. And I think for your last step, you don't have to. You could use it more like a pom-pom and pull these up forward. But I'm going to spread it out more like a bow, so it kind of keeps that bow shape I love. Like this. Y'all, I hear Nori. Nori's telling us, Mama, I'm here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take and add a little ribbon to the center. That's just one of my signature moves. And I think this pretty dark purple would be beautiful in there. And we're going to use that to cover our little cable tie. We don't need a whole lot. I'm doing about 6 inches. And I'll just take and fold it over. And I'm just folding it like this to get a little strip. I did 3 folds this time to get a little bitty strip. And I'm going to tie that. That's so cute. I'm going to tie that right in the middle. I love this. I hope you try this kind of scrap bow where you can make your own. You don't have to use scraps. We can plan on this from the beginning. If you love this purple color combo and you're one of our purple people, we'll have a supply list so you can get this exact ribbon right here. But look at that. Precious, adorable. I can't wait for you to try this simple bow. And if you've never made a bow before, this might be the perfect one. Think of all the combos you could do in there. That would be a blast. You could mix so many patterns. You're going to have fun. We've got the cutest little bunny door hangers that have come in, and we have been playing with these in design school, and I love using them. But I'm going to give you a little tip today that you can use on these door hangers or any other project you ever see. As even though this comes with one style of bow, what I can do is I can take and change the whole look of this just by changing out the bow here at the bottom, and it's really that easy. And there's always lots more you can do to make it even pop more, but we're going to show you how to do that really easy. I'm going to take my door hanger here, and I am going to start off by deciding, how far I want to deconstruct this. I could just take off this bow and just go, keep it very natural and just keep the burlap in the background. Ooh, I was able just to pull it. Sometimes you may have to, be careful and not tear it up. And you can save this for something else. Okay, pull that out. And if I just want this natural kind of country, kind of a garden look, this would be perfect. But if I want to go like a completely different way with my finished look on this, I can even take and pull off these. They're usually glued on, so we'll try to pull it. And then if it won't pull, we'll just gently snip it. You just have to be careful that you don't destroy things. You might have to use a little muscle. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty, y'all. Haha! Look at that. And I pulled it off, and I have the bunny head just right here like this. And super simple. And now there is a little bit of the ribbon or glue there, but no big deal. We're going to completely come in with another look. Now this one has a hanger on it, but we'll be using this bunny in either a centerpiece or a wreath, so I'm not even going to need the hanger, so I can take and just trim that off and take and kind of hide this in the back. When I did that in design school, I used this bunny. I just took and just kind of hid it back here. Super easy. So I'm going to do a little knot back here, and you won't even see it now, okay? There it goes. It looks really finished on the front. These little ears have wires in them. So when you get an embellishment, feel around. Does it have wires? Can I take and how can I take and make this look a little bit better than when I just first got it? Or how can I change it for a different look I want out of the same piece? I got his little ears up. I fixed his little whiskers. They're looking adorable. Now I want to go ahead and add in the bow right here to the center. We made this bow on another video. This is one of the scrap bows I love making. If you need a link to learn how to make that, just let us know. We'll put it in the comments. And I am just going to tuck this right under his little chin right here. And we're going to glue that on. But before I do it, I want to think about how I can manipulate my ribbons to kind of come down a little bit. And I think it would even be precious if we were able to add like a little bit of greenery in there too. So I'm going to grab some greenery and we're going to pop that right into here. So I'm going to grab a greenery like this. It's just a really subtle looking piece where I've got greenery with a little bit of lavender. So look how perfect. This is just a perfect little greenery. So I'm going to get 2 pieces of that. So I don't need a whole lot off this bush. And I'm going to come in and just get 2 of these little longer pieces like this. So just like that. I want you to cut a couple of pieces. And what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of glue these behind our bow when we put them in. We don't have to get really fancy here. We're just going to lay them on the muslin. And I'm going to come in with some glue. I've got my electric glue skillet off to the side. And what I want you to do is just take here and lay a little glue right there. Pop in a little bit of greenery on either side here. It's going to come out of the bow. So simple. That went in first, okay? And it's kind of, I've got it nicely melding in the fabric and they're touching each other. So I'm making a nice little glue sandwich here. And then here comes some more glue. And we're gonna layer this right on top, a little bit below it. I don't want the bow to be too high. I want to kind of bring it low. And then I'm going to take the bow and we're going to just push that right in here. So we're going to hold it for just a minute. And while I'm holding it, I can take and fluff it out while I'm holding it tight in that center because I need that glue to set up. And then I'm going to bring just little bits of this greenery through, just like that. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Oh my gosh. That simple change is quite different from our original bunny, but not that difficult, really easy to like change the look of a wreath attachment that you want to use. And now this is going to go perfect in any type of other piece. And if I want to add this to a dowel, this could go in a centerpiece. If I left that hanger on, we could have left this as a door hanger, or I can just go through the back and attach it on a wreath or whatever works for my decor and how I like to decorate. Hey Limerinos, we're gonna do the last few steps of this project. Have you been following along our adventure while we've been creating this project step by step? And we've been having so much fun doing different things with it and kind of building on the style of the design. So in one video, we made this entire wreath here and we taught you how to put these pieces in place in order to get this gorgeous, lush look with the ginkgo leaves and the berries. And then on another video, we showed you how to make this scrap bow right here in order to kind of take your wreath attachment to the next level and make it look different than others that will have the same attachment as you. If you need the link to either of these videos, just let us know. They're all in the supply list for this project, and you can watch the whole progression as we bring the project together. But our very last step is to add the bunny head to the wreath. Because this is on a wire, nice little wire frame under here, it's got a lot of stability. All we need to do is just take an awl that's kind of like an ice pick, and it has this little pointy tip, and it goes really easily through fabric, and it can poke right through it. I make this little pokey poke through the back, okay? We give him a piercing. This bunny's been wanting to get a piercing, whether he wants it or not. Then we're gonna pull that out, and then all we've got to do is run a cable tie. You can use a wire. They have a little bit more rigidity, so they're a little bit easier to get through here. And then you just run that right through there. And I'm gonna come over to my wreath base. And this wreath is just so sweet the way we designed it to where the bunny can just sit right in there. Isn't that adorable? And we're gonna put it right in. Let me move you guys over so you can see it really good here. There we go. So I'm gonna put the bunny in right here to the little hole we left. And then we'll just take and cable tie him right in. And now we're gonna get this nice and tight right here to this part of the, you won't even notice. He'll be sitting in there so cute. And I'll just take some wire cutters and trim off the cable tie part. Just like that. Now my last step is I'm gonna just fluff out his little scrap bow we made to go on there. And these ears have wires. And then he's set, ready to go. And not only did you learn how to make this one design wreath, but we showed you 3 different ways to work with the same concept to kind of take it different directions. And that's the kind of tips and tricks I teach you every week in design school. And we would love to have you in our class so you don't miss another minute of learning how to design and all the skills, tips, and tricks that you need to take your work to the next level. We don't want you just pushing and shoving things in. I want you to have proper placement and learn how to create lines, depth, and dimension in your pieces. And I'd love to show you. So come join us in design school. And y'all, if you need the links to any of this, just ask in the comments. We'll send you to the supply list. And the supply list has links for everything. And you won't ever be lost again. Today we're going to start with a 14-inch grapevine vase. And this is just a really nice vine one that is, I try to pick out the best I can, but I'm always teaching in design school, you're going to get wreaths that aren't the greatest shape. So remember, there's a wreath you can make on all the shapes. This particular kit does not come with the wreath base, so you can make it on any base you want. But today we're working with a 14-inch grapevine. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our main character in this wreath, and he is this cute, it's a really cute bunny head. And he's going to go right in the center, and we are going to go ahead. I got to leave a little room for my big bow, and I think it'd be really cute to have my big bow at the bottom. So I'm going to shift him up and over a little, so I leave a little area down here. We have the bow video for you also, so make sure you ask for that in the comments, or you head over to the link for this kit. There'll be a link right there where you can see how to make the bow too when we get to that point. So let's go ahead and prep him up a little. We're going to cut off his little hanger. He comes with a little cute little hanger, and you can get these bunny heads without the kits on our website also, but we try to make it really, really easy for you to get everything all in one, and you don't have to go shopping to find what you need to make it. So I'm going to put him right here, and we're going to use some little wood dowels to poke him in. Most of our wreath attachments, I try to have them designed on foam, so they're really, really easy to put together. So we're going to come in with a couple of dowels in here and just kind of use friction to hold him in place. I want to make sure I'm going into his head. Let's do one more up from the top. So I'm just kind of weaving it in and out of the grapevine, and then make sure we're puncturing his either his hat or his chin. So when you end up with 3 different points of attachment, you're good to go. I'm going to trim that off. And now he's in, just like that. Really, really easy. Okay. And in design school, we do something called setting the perimeter of our design. So I told you today's video is a little sneak peek behind that curtain because class is closing at the end of the month. So you've got to get in before the end of this month. Otherwise, you're going to miss all the great spring content we have in there for you and the new things that are coming. I'm going to take this greenery. This is called our fishtail fern. It's also exclusive to Cleese.com, just like the bunny. And we're going to take and just push this up a little, but I want it nice and wispy. And we'll cut this whole bush down. We're going to start to put some of this in our design. Okay. There it is, all trimmed out, and let's go ahead and start to put it in. I love this greenery because it's so wispy and really, really looks great in your wreath or your arrangement. Holds up really, really well in the weather too. Now, as I'm putting these into the grapevine, I use Spanish moss to kind of hide any mechanics. Now, that will be in your kit, but you're more than welcome to get it on the website separately. We'll have a link there for you. I'm using the light green right now. All right. So I got a couple of pieces going up there. Now, we're going to leave a little space for a bow. Sometimes we use bows in our designs, sometimes we don't. A bow is a really great way to fill in an area and make it super, super simple to kind of cover some real estate. You know, fill it in. Fill it in. All right, I'm gonna come on this side of his head and we're gonna kind of do the same thing. I wanna work that in, that grapevine right there. Put a little moss on. You could also put moss on your dowel rods if you needed to hide them. I'm just gonna kind of wait till we're a little bit further into the design to worry about that too much. Okay, so I'm gonna put him there and let's kind of work our way down. And if they're a little longer than you want, the nice thing about our fern, you could push it up and adjust that size. I am always throwing those cutters down. Apparently it's where I get my stress out. Honey bunny, I save you by throwing my cutters down. Poor honey bunny's like, you're roping me into this wreath today? I'm innocent. I'm innocent, honey. You think he is? I don't think he is. I think we need to blame him for something. You know, now that all my videos are done at the studio here and they're not at the bloom room at home anymore, I can't blame him if I lose a tool. I literally cannot blame him because it's not his fault. That's terrible. That is just terrible. Oh, I want to blame it on him. Nope, no such luck. Do you guys do that with your spouses? Or your significant others? Do you do that? Man, blame them. Okay, I worked all the way around the perimeter, and now I'm going to kind of come a couple of short pieces on the inside because I want them to tuck into this little hole right here. So let's get our second bush and really, really use that in there. So I'm just pushing it up. Push up, push up. I need a push song, like, to push it up. Push it real good. I hope you guys can't hear that music in the background too much. Someone has pulled up outside the warehouse and is jamming out. When they first got here, I was filming design school class, and it was shaking the walls. It was like, brr, brr. Y'all, it was shaking my brain. So I said to the design school class, I said, okay guys, I might just pause this and come back in a minute. But just as I said that, sure enough, went off. So at least it's a little more muted now. But I didn't want to go out there and, you know, have a confrontation or anything. I don't know a lot of the neighbors over here as well as I do on the other side. So I don't cause no trouble. We're going to be good neighbors. But I'm vibrating in here. And it's not the kind of vibrating I want. It's not a good foot massage, y'all. So I put those two in, just kind of snuggling up against his cheek. Isn't that adorable? I just love him. He is super duper cute. Look, he is so cute. He's rocking. So his greenery is in. Now I can kind of see this little dowel rod right here. And I'm going to get that covered with flowers, so I'm not too worried about it. So what you want to do now is grab your next floral in this kit, and that is this hyacinth. I love hyacinths in real life and in the springtime designs. I love them. I'm not going to use their greenery. I rarely do, because unless we buy a really fancy hyacinth, it's going to be just regular silk leaf. And I just like these flowers. They're just so pretty. So we're going to cut these off. They have a little notch here. And that is just a simple tip. Sometimes when something is notched somewhere, if you can cut it there, it's going to be easier to cut with your cutters. So if you'll look here, you see this right here? That little notch, that's where I'm going to cut it. Okay? I'm going to cut it right along there. And basically that's about 6 inches. So I am just chopping broccoli. Okay, they're all chopped down and they're off. And let's use these in. I'm going to use a little on the right side and a little on the left. It's going to be a little balanced as we put these in. So let's get started. And we can always trim the stems a little bit more. But I'm going to kind of put one here, kind of going between my pretty little fern. You hit it with a little moss. Let's get in there, buddy. Yes. And then let's work down from that a little right here. So I'm going to trim this one down. Pop it in. Come on in, you cutie. Stick in there. Yeah, it looks so sweet. I love it. Now let's go to the other side. We'll get a couple in there. And just kind of have a little on the right and a little on the left. All right. I'm still leaving that area open for the bow. Remember our bow zone. Welcome to the bow zone. This is the bow zone, where people will be making bows and putting their bows in their wreaths. And there'll be no crazy Twilight Zone or no crazy music playing. Please. All right, I'm going to put one more right here. We'll kind of have that one poking out a little bit, right under this cute little bunny's chin. I just love to make them look like they're just in the garden out here. I just think it's so sweet. Yeah. Okay, great start, right? We've got the bunny, we have got the hyacinth, and we've got the greenery. And we've got a great shape established where he is the primary. I love his little glasses. So cute. Now, I would like to go ahead and put the bow in next, because then we're going to fill in a bunch of beautiful roses all around what we've got going. So let's go ahead and put our bow in. Now remember, I told you we tied this on another video. So I'd love for you to go see that video and see how we did it step by step. So we'll put that in the comments, ask for it, or you can also go directly to the website to the link for this kit, and it will always have a link to the bow. Because when you buy a kit from us, what we do is we make sure you get a QR code so you don't have to go hunt for the video. All right, just like when you're in design school, everything is in a portal, organized. You have your passwords and you have your special discount codes. We just try to make it really easy so you can use the things we sell and make beautiful things, because we know once you do that and you complete those projects, you're gonna come back and you're gonna want to do it again, because it's so much fun. Like wreathing and creating and crafting is so much fun. All right, I'm gonna put this in right here in the back. And we're putting it in that area of the bow zone. Yay! Okay, let's get in there and get it tight. Let's go. All right, get it nice and tight. All right, and then I'm going to trim off the end of that. And then I'll rotate it around. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's like popping up against his little cheek. You're like adorable. It's adorable already. All right, get this down a little bit. Get your tails working for you. Want those tails going, and I want this just tucking right into him, but it doesn't have to cover up his whole face, just right beside it. Just like that, okay? And we'll get him straightened up. Now, that is cute, but we are not happy with that yet. We got more to go. So I'm gonna take my last hyacinth and we're gonna use that up above his head. I wanted to kind of get these in first so that I can get a good shape going and figure out exactly how much we have working around here. Now, around the bow, we're going to work in that greenery that we didn't use yet, so we can kind of layer this bow out. And that's always a great tip, to kind of tuck in and manipulate all of this to get all those layers in that bow separated with the greenery. I think that's pretty. Okay, let's come in here. And you can't just go into the ribbon. That doesn't work. But you have to kind of separate the layers of the ribbon and then put the greenery in and then pull it into the bow. Right? Just like that. And I'll bring it down a little so he doesn't have to smoke that up your nose with the greenery, buddy. So I took that in right there. Now let's come to the outside. This is just too fun. So kind of like, you know, you got your background dancers and you got your main star. Well, the bunny's the main star, the bow is the main star, and then the greenery is like our background dancers. It's kind of coming up stage, going back, moving around. That's exactly what we're doing with it right here. So it's working its way into the program, I'll tell you that. And all of a sudden your bow doesn't look like it's just on there. It looks like it's in there, part of it. The huge difference. Can you tell that? Can you see that difference? Look at that bow now. Yeah. Yes. That bow now looks amazing with all that greenery in there. See it? So perfect. So the last two pieces in our kit are a beautiful rose. It's got this really curly leaf. I love that one in the center. And then we've got a filler flower that is a little rose. We're going to mix these in here, starting with these roses. So I'm going to take and we're going to trim them off to where they got like a 5-inch stem or so here. And I'm going to leave this greenery on the stem. So we're going to do that with each one to where they're just a little bloom there. I'm going to break those all down. And we're going to get these in next. So we're just trimming those off. Just trimming. So that one has a little leaf on it, but I'll probably trim that off when we get that far. I love the color on these. They even have like a little purple down here. Okay, so now that we've got all of our bush cut down. I'm going to put these in like little clusters of 2 with 1 bloom up and 1 bloom down. I'm not going to do anything special, but just trim them at the same length. And I'm making sure that they have no leaves on them. And we're going to start to tuck these in. Right here, we're going to begin with some at the base of the bow. I'm going to move this over and we're going to put this one right here at the top. So this is a different color of pink. It's a little bit muted, but I think it adds a super duper richness because I must tell you, we've got the darker tones in the wreath base that I chose, and the bunny itself. We've got this little brown fuzzy ears and the bunny skin that's made out of the little sisal. I think it's just really, really neat. So put those 2 in there, and then let's have a couple come out the bottom too. So I'm going to pick a couple of longer ones. We'll just get rid of that leaf. And then I just have to kind of trim any little bits off. You don't want it to look like it's missing something. So, because I sell my wreaths, and I want to make sure that when I'm done, I don't want the customer to think, well, I'm missing a leaf. No, that leaf was never in your design. But they don't know that, right? So we just trim that little attachment piece off. Okay, there are those 2 together. And let's put those coming from the bottom of our bow. So I'm going to separate out the tails. I'm going to go right underneath here. Just kind of have those tuck in too. I like these to be a little tighter to the base. Let that greenery shoot out, but this is a little tighter. Oh, that's so lush in there. I love these blooms. It's so pretty. Okay, let's use a little bit more. We're going to take our little leaves off. And this one has all that purple in the bottom. It's so pretty. This one has a little rose hip with it. I'll just leave it with it. That's fine. And then I'm going to stagger them a little higher, a little lower to give us some good impact in there. And then I'm going to take and just give them a little motion. Y'all, I can't even believe it's already time for design school to close for the season again. So I want to remind you guys we only open up a couple times a year and onboard new students several at a time. So this is our spring season coming up. So get in class. Right there. Ooh, 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 ooh. So pretty. That little bit of purple. I love that. All right, let's use some down here. See that line working? Oh, that's a little Freudian slip. I let it go. That's a design school thing. We were working that line. Yep. That's okay. I can tell y'all. Uh-oh. I hear the musicians moving out. I shouldn't say musicians, the musical players. All right, here's our 2. We're gonna come over here. Let's just have these going right by his little chin. Oh no. Do you hear it? I spoke too soon. Like, dude, it's time to go home. Keep rolling. I think they're rolling on. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so cute right there. Just tucked in right under his little chin. Oh, ooh, 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 this is so pretty, guys. Okay, let's put one more right over there or right here. Let me look back. You always gotta step back and take a look at what you're working on. Oh, I love all the pink in here. It is fantastic. Let's go. Let's go with one more. I think we'll tuck it in right here, kind of behind the bow, just in case we need to have a little better coverage. Okay. Now, once all the main flowers are in, like we just finished in the last one, hot. Dang it, you got me burnt on the last one. Be nice. Buddy, I thought we were friends. I thought we were making beautiful, buddy. All right. Now we're going to use our pink filled flower, and this one has a little bit different pink, so mixing the 3 different pinks is really beautiful. So I'm just going to take and pull these out of here. We'll just pull each little flower, and I'm going to leave the other pieces. We can use those on something else. I just want the flowers this time. I thought you were going home, Mr. Musical Man. with your vibrating truck. Thought you were driving home, but you're still here. No, I think he's gone. I think they're gone. Oh, mole. All right, so I pulled out all of my cute little baby roses, and we're going to use those in here because they've got like little bitty, like a baby's breath on there, and then the little roses, they're going to go great. And we're going to kind of mix these in between our bigger flowers that we already have in. So I'm just going to take one, we're going to go right in here, just tuck it in, and I'm going to make sure it just kind of flops out of there. We don't want it tight, we want it to kind of come out. Come out and party with us, right? We're going to put one right in here, kind of coming out on these flowers over here. Right here. And I'm just pushing that in, that can just tuck right there. That looks great. Beautiful. Let's put one coming out this way. This one kind of coming out the bow a little bit. That will be excellent. I can't believe how stinking cute this is. We have rocked it out together, y'all. I'm loving it. Okay. So we've got one here, and one up here a little higher. So to finish it off, we're just going to tuck that one in right by his cheek, and I'm just going to give this a twist. Oh yeah. Right here, buddy. It's going to be your little cheek mate. You get it? So checkmate. Cheekmate. Let me show you. Let me show you. It's so cute. Let me pull that grass down just a little bit so I don't cover up his face too much. He is so cute. Look at him. I love him. Start with a 14-inch wreath base, and we're going to kind of go way off this base. Think about that when you're getting ready to design. Sometimes you can start with a smaller base and really use it as kind of like the structure for the design and then go way off of it. And that's what we're going to do in this one. We know that the main durable piece in this is the bunny head here. So he's got to go in first. I'm going to be putting him right over here on the right side of the wreath. And I'm just going to be poking him in with some of our skewers so he can just go right into the base. These are our wooden skewers, and we use these instead of cooking. We're cooking up something pretty, a wreath. We're going to use these to stake him into the wreath base, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I know I'm going to have him over on this side, and he does have a little hanger on here, but I'm not going to use that this time. So I'll just take my scissors and we'll just chop that off. Give him a little haircut because we don't need that. But I do want to add a lot of support with the skewers to hold him in place. We're going to do that right now. So once I know where I want him, which is pretty much on the right side of the design, then I'm going to take the skewers and we're going to dip them in glue. And you're able to kind of come in and start to attach him. You're just going to kind of get some, you got to have a little bit of angle on it. And you're going to feel it go in. And the first one's in. And usually I want to do 2 or 3 of these just to make sure I'm getting it in there good. This one will come from the back. All right, let me trim that one off because it's a little, it's gonna poke out the back. All right, we'll trim both of those. So we've got 2 in. Now my next angle is we need some from the top because we need it supported everywhere. And that's why we designed these bunny heads out of foam, so they are super easy to attach to a wreath base. So I'm going to do the same thing, and this is going to go into the top of his head. So you can see here I went in way at the top, and now I've got 3 in there, and that may be enough. I'm going to give it this shake test just to see. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, I think that's fine. You could put as many as you like. You can also take and put a wire in the back and just totally wire them in, whatever's easier. I just like to use my dowels. It works pretty well. And you kind of use leverage all around to help hold it. The tension helps hold. The first part's done in the bunny's head. All right, now let's start part 2. We need to add that greenery. This time our greenery is going to be this cherry blossom bush. And so with this one, it's got a floral head and a greenery and a little filler flower. So I'm able to separate that into sections and have the perfect picks. So I'm going to do that for 2 bushes. Once you have your pieces all torn down, we need to take and do what we call shaking hands. So that means we're going to make friends with this spray, and we're going to shake hands and get each piece spread out to where it's really pretty. And then trim off the edge so it's nice and neat, so you're ready to put these in your wreath and you can start creating your design. I'm going to do that with every piece, and then after every piece is fluffed out, we'll start putting them in. Okay, Bloomerinos, we have shaped out. We shook hands with every one of these pieces, and now we're ready to start to put them in our design. I know that I'm going to want to put my bow right here in the center. So I'm going to start working out in so I kind of get a shape developed. So we're going to go over here in my electric skillet. My glue pot is right here on my left. I generally have that out of camera because it's not pretty. It's just over to the side. And I'm going to take, and once I get a little glue on these, we're going to start to press these in and shape out our design. Now, one of the neatest trends we've been playing with is like neutral pieces for Easter as well. And they have doing so well because the farmhouse, the natural look, even though some of that is kind of going out, there's so many people who have that decor and they want seasonal pieces to go with it. So it's kind of like a cottagey, fresh, clean look for Easter. And we've done it for many years, but we are doing incredibly well with it in our Etsy shop. When I put something up new that's natural, people are loving it. So that's kind of why we are making this design today in this color palette. I've got my longest pieces in, and now I'm going to work towards the middle. Everybody gets a little glue, and then I'm putting them in to the design here, just going between the grapevine. I'm not pushing it to the back. It's going between. We'll keep shaping that out. Putting it in here. Thank goodness we've already shaped these. It helps it go a lot faster. Now we're just going to kind of do mirror image. What we did in the bottom, we're going to do on the top. And I'm going to bring that in here to the top. I love it. We have lots of design school students who love to come and create and learn how to create for stress relief and just a really fun hobby. So it's so fun when we kind of get in the zone and get to create together. I love this part. Now, this is a little bit of Spanish moss, okay? And whenever I get too much glue or I've got like a gap that I need to fill and make sure a stem doesn't rotate on me, I'm gonna put a little of that Spanish moss in there. So that's what I just did right there. Okay, so I'm down to where I have 4 pieces left. So I'm gonna take, and we're gonna cut a little bit to go to the inside. So we're gonna take one of our pieces and just get our wire cutters and cut that in half here. So I get 2 smaller pieces out of 1 big one, okay? You could do that anytime with any floral you have. Most of them can be sectioned out, no problem. So if you're limited on how many supplies you have left to make something, think about sectioning it out so you can kind of get even distribution in your design. Don't worry, okay? You can make it work. So now I'm going to bring these 2 to the center and go right between those. Okay, and then I'm going to give this one a little bit of a bend. We love working with things that have that nice wire in them. Let me show you where we're at so far. Look at this. The bunny head's in. I've got 3 pieces of the cherry blossom down here, 3 above, and we got a great base. We're just starting off, but we got it. We got a great starting point. And we call this setting our perimeter. And sometimes we do that with florals, sometimes we do it with grasses or greenery. Here we did it with a combination of both. So we set our perimeter on the design. Next step, we're going to keep these to the side. We'll be using this more in a little bit. And now I'm going to grab my tulips. I love my tulips. These are some of the small tulip bushes. And we're going to cut these down to go in here and start adding them in. They're a great spring flower. And these have a cute little head. So I'm going to take and start to cut these off here. And then we'll put them in our design. The leaves can push up just a little bit. And I'm going to do that. And then we're going to cut. And I like the leaves kind of a little bit tighter to the head anyway. We're just going to take and cut those off. Okay, Bloomerinos, all the heads are cut off those bushes. And now I have individual tulips just like this. And we're going to put them right into our wreath base. Now, I've got a great shape going and we want to kind of work with that as we continue to design in here. So I'm going to put these in clusters of 2. And then we'll take and we will get them loaded up with the glue. Now with these tulips, could you make sure you're seeing the front of the leaves? That's one of my hugest pet peeves ever, is when the leaves are backwards. So try to make the leaves go to the front. And we'll start off by putting some down here low. And then we're going to work our way backward up to our, what we call our transition point, where the direction shifts. So we're going to work on that. So that's 2. Let's do a cluster of 3 here for fun too. All right. So I've got it in a cluster, and then I'm going to put them all 3 in together. I'm giving it a good swirl in my glue. And we're going to come out here. I cannot wait to put this puppy in my Etsy shop. Whoop, this one got loose on me. Let me get some more glue on it. It needed a little bit more. Okay, perfect. It's going to go in there. So I've got 2 clusters down here at the bottom. Let's go to the top and we'll add some more just up at the top. So I'm going to start with a cluster of 2 to match this one. So I'm looking for a shorter one here. Here we go. So a long one, a short one. And I'm giving that a little swirl in the glue pot, and I'm going to come up above up here. Let's go in here. Yay, those 2 are going in right there. Now, I'm going to do this one matching right in here. So move those floral blooms over. Oh, and I want them to stay together pretty good clustered. So I'm going to push them and watch those leaves. Don't you turn on me, leaf. What I want to see a back. I like the cute front on the leaves. Here we go. Now I have a cluster of 3. I'm going to hold it tight. And we'll do the same thing like this right in there. Let's come up here. Come on in. All right. And I'll make sure it's going into that wreath. Like if you feel like, something's stopping it, you got to pull it out and redo it. And sometimes there's some grapevines kind of holding it up behind. And then if you get a little hole, grab your Spanish moss. Right in here, I've got a little bit of hole, so I'm going to push some moss in there. It kind of creates a nice little bond with the glue and the Spanish moss. All right, now let's have a little bit going to the outside. Now right in here, I think it'd be great to have some going to the outside. Right in this back part. But before I put it in, let's put a little bit more of the cherry blossom with the greenery, and it's got a little bit of fern in it. Let's put that in next. I'm going to cut this into 2 smaller pieces again because I think that works a little bit better. We don't need it so long, and because we want to kind of tighten up this outer perimeter as we get back to the middle here, because this is where our bow's going to go. So now I'm going to take and put a piece right here. I love that. A little short piece, and we're leaving a little space open for the bow. And in design school, we call that the bow zone. So we'll leave room for our bow zone right in there. Now I'm going to come above. I'm going to do the same thing. Just going on the top side of the bow zone. Yeah. All right, now we kind of have a good base set in there for us to add the tulips back here. So let's do that right now. I'm going to grab 2 and 2. We're going to do 2 clusters of 2 because I want you to save about, I think we're going to save 4 tulips to work in around the bow. And then we're going to save some of the cherry blossom spray to go in around the bow too. And I'm going to show you why that's important when we get to that part. So now let's put these tulips in. So our clusters went 2, 3, 2. All right. It's a weird math thing and I get all into it, but I'm not going to go too crazy right now. But just know 2, 3, 2. All right. You don't have to add it up or do anything with it. Just enjoy the process. You're supposed to have fun and relax, Khalid. Why are you talking about math? We're just saying. We're just saying. All right, let's go on the top side. Yo, my daughter does all this math stuff that's so high level. That used to be my jam, and now it's like, oh, what are you doing? You're passing me so fast. I guess that's what they're supposed to do. All right, let me show you what we got going so far. We got our bunny head in our first step, and then we laid the gray perimeter. We started off with our foundation here with our cherry blossom, which has our greenery and everything. Look how cute it is. This guy is so cute so far. And then we came back in with the tulips. Still the same color palette with the cream and green. And we did the 2, 3, 2 pattern up and above. And now Our next step before we add any more floral is gonna be the bow, and we're gonna put it right into that zone that we left called the bow zone. It's going right in here to the middle. So I'm gonna take and grab my cable tie and just put it through a couple of pieces of the grapevine here. You don't need to go through a whole bunch. I don't like going all the way through the back if I can keep from it. If you can keep the back of your wreath just pretty neat and natural, it's a little more appealing to people who have storm doors or glass doors. It's hard when you first start to keep the back neat, but over time you'll get a lot better at it. Mainly because you're not putting your stems all the way through the back, okay? You'll just get better, I promise. Over many years I've gotten a lot better with that. Now that my bow is in the bow zone, I'm gonna kind of tuck it over a little and we're gonna start to fluff it up. And you need to boss it around. You gotta be the boss of your bow. Be a little aggressive and layer in the tails. Because we don't want to feel like, I don't want to feel like my tails are just all only at the front. I want them worked in to the design. I just want them worked in there. I love this. Bring that down. Let's bring these here. Flip this around. Oh my gosh, how cute. See how cute it's coming together ready with putting that bow in? And this is immediately picking up the black from the hat and the black on the glasses, and it's really tying that in with that pop of the black color. And this is velvet too, so we even have the same texture going on. All of that's kind of really important in the cohesiveness of your final project. So think about that when you're putting stuff together. Even the texture can matter in design. Now I'm going to grab the last few pieces we have left as promised. And we are going to start with our greenery, and we're going to start using that first. And I want to use it in and around the bow because that makes it feel like it's coming out of a garden or the woods and very fresh. So I'm going to take and trim these all down to where I've got 3 pieces here. And we're going to work that right into the bow itself. So I'm going to start with this one up higher. This is a pretty long stem. Trim it down shorter because you're going into that space right behind the bow and you just don't have a whole ton of room. So I'm going to trim it down a little. And we're going to go right above. Going right above. Oh yeah. Once you do this, you're going to love it. I mean, once you start to break the plane of the bow a little bit with florals, you'll just love that. And it just makes it so soft looking. So I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to work on the outside right here. So I don't have to cut this one so short, but it's going right in behind the bow. Just going to tuck it in and then bend it. There you go. Bring it forward, and then now I've got that coming out. And oh, I've got one more piece here we had already cut. And this one I think I'll use kind of out and down in this section right here. So you can literally just go slow and layer these pieces in. They're short and they just stay tight to the bow. It's kind of your detail finish work that you're working on. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the inside. And we'll cut this piece down too into small little pieces. So even every stem you're using in this project, you can take and trim it down. If you haven't gotten the kit for this project, we'll be happy to share that link with you. Just ask for it in the comments and we'll get you the link to the kit. Okay, I'm going to trim this piece off. And now we're going to work a little bit more to the inside. Same song, different verse here. I was just tearing off a little paper. Sometimes the paper gets a little bit long. And if it does, what happens? You end up putting in your glue pot and then you're swinging glue all over on that paper. Just trim it off. Just tear it. Just tear it. You don't even need anything special. Just tear it. All right, I'm going to use a little bit more right in there. So I've kind of come in between each little layer of the bow and softened it up with the greenery and the filler flowers. So perfect. Right there. Oh, look at that. Okay, well, let me show you. Let me give you a good close-up. Oh my goodness, so cute. So stinking cute. Okay, we have some tulips we saved for around the bow too. We're gonna do those next. We got 4 tulips left. And I think they would be super cute just to kind of tuck in around the bow. You can use them individually, meaning like 2 above the bow, 2 below. I think that would work fine. So let's kind of go with that plan. I'm going to take the first one here. I pulled the leaf up a little bit. And we're going to kind of go in. This one's kind of got this natural curve that way. So it'll go perfect right here, kind of curving over toward the bunny's head. And we'll just pop it in. Right in here. So I just move my bow out to the side for just a second. And then I just bring that back. Perfect. All right, so now I'd like one maybe in the middle, kind of coming right to here. So how about this one? We'll give it a little bit of a bend. And we'll go right above. So adorable. I'm loving this. Okay, so that's what we've got in the top section. Now we're going to work in the bottom section. So in the bottom section here, our shape kind of curves around this way. So automatically, I think it'd be great to have one going in right here. So I'm going to watch my leaves, make sure they are going forward and not facing backwards, and then just go right in here. And then let's do one more, just right, kind of coming out of the center. I think that's like a no-brainer. Matter of fact, we have one piece of the greenery left. Let's put that first in there, and then we'll put the tulip right on top. This is going to be just the perfect finishing touch. Right in here to the bottom. Have that kind of come down perfect. And then let's bring that tulip right out of there. I'm just going to take my ribbons and fluff them just a little bit. I love this type of color palette. I think it's just so natural. It's classic, timeless, and I'm sure that's why we always do well with it, because no matter how you change up your decor for different seasons, it's always going to work. Okay, we got gold bunny ears, we got carrots, we got all the cute stuff, and we're going to work on a large wreath base today, and it's going to be so much fun. So let's hop right to it. We've got our grapevine ready to rock and roll, and this is a big one. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off by getting our main pieces in, and for us, that's going to be our ears and our carrots. Let's get the carrots in first, because when you mix these cute carrots with these ears and the ribbons we have planned out, it's stinking adorable. Y'all, make sure you're asking for the supply list in the comments. Carrots going first. And I'm going to start with one kind of up high here, off to the side. And I've already put a cable tie through it so I can easily attach it. So we're going to get the first piece put on right here. And, oh, make sure you got to go in the right way, because if it's backwards, it's going nowhere. So I'm going to get the first one on. It's a little wonky when you first start. Don't worry, we got this. I got to take and get it kind of up here to the right, and I want it to be this direction. Now, we may need to put one at the bottom too, but I'm going to get my first piece in and kind of see how it moves around. Once I know what we're dealing with here, that'll tell me a lot as far as how I can put the two pieces in. Okay, so that one's in to start. Really good. Okay, so our second carrot, we want to kind of cluster these up together. And I want this one to be a little bit lower, so right in here. So I'm okay with this. We can trim that little piece off. I'm going to slide this back a little bit. Yay, I love it. The next one's going to go right beside it. Kind of like snuggling up to it. So I'm going to go through a couple of pieces of the grapevine here and tuck it in. And then we're going to have to do a little bit of a shake test to see if we need to put some more ties in at the bottom. We'll see. We'll see how much she's going to wiggle around. All right, the top one's in, the bottom one's in. So I think we will put one more tie down here on this one. Look how cute they are together. Just so that they, it doesn't end up twisting out too much. Because when I'm going to make these, I'm going to teach you how to make them properly so you can sell them to your customers. And when they open them in the mail, we want to try to do our best to kind of foresee what could shift around. And so in this case, I feel like this could move like that and not look so appealing when they open it. It's going to be fine, but so let's put one a little bit lower. So I'm going to poke a little hole back here, and we'll put another little cable tie lower. No big deal. And there's no, you don't have to do that at first. You can kind of see what's going to happen and then do it. So I just poke that with the awl, and I come back in here. I'm using my long 14-inch cable ties. You could go shorter, but I just find them easy to work with. All right, and we're going to try to go through just a couple of pieces here, just to keep this dude from flopping around too much. All right, and I'll tuck that in the back and just trim it off. Yay! Okay, and these are going to kind of be in this direction, where they're kind of up here in this quadrant of the design. Next step is to put the ears in. The ears are going to be really dramatic, and they're going to go right kind of where our bows are going. So we're gonna have a bow up top and a bow down low. So I want the ears to be popping out of them. So let's kind of get started. These have long stems and we pull in a little of that gold color. I'm just gonna gently give them a little bit of movement. And you can always do this with any stem you have, whether it's floral or not. Go slowly so you don't crease anything, but you can generally give things a little bit of movement. So see, now they have a little curve to them instead of being flat. All of that kind of adds a little depth and dimension to your pieces, and that's one of my big pet peeves, where if you work on that, you can actually get more for your work when you're designing. So I'm gonna put this one here, and let's go with this one maybe right in here. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a stem. Now don't worry that this is moving because we haven't even put a hanger on it. We don't even exactly know where our center is. We'll do that towards the end, okay? So this one's gonna go right in there, and I am gonna just push it right down into the grapevine. Right here, looking cute. So our first set of ears will be right here. I love it. Now my second set of ears is gonna be kind of down here in this zone. I'm leaving the stems a little bit long so we can manipulate them how we want to curve them once the bows are in, but I'm thinking this one looks super cute, kind of coming over the carrots a little bit. So right in here. So cute. I love this. Let's put that one down there. This bunny is so cute. He's all up in our wreath, him and his friends. Now, anytime you have a little bit of glue showing, I'm always going to suggest you grab a little Spanish moss and you just go ahead and cover it up right now. That's my own little pet peeve, and it helps things hold in place. Okay, so we got our ears in, we've got our carrots in, and now next step is greenery. So our greenery stems are like this. They are long and lush, and they easily break into 3 sections. Just tear them down real easy. And then the top section, we can trim it off. And we're gonna be able to take and have 3 different sections that look exactly like this for our greenery as we go around. Now, shape this up. This one has a fern, it has a leaf, it has a berry, it's got all the things. Now, a bow is gonna go in here, and then we're gonna need to reach out from the bow. So let's start kind of up here at this top section and put these in, okay? So I'm gonna give it a swirl and put the first one in here. Beautiful. And then I'm gonna grab my other 2, and we still need to do the same thing, shake hands. Now, some of these have this cool twig in here, and I'm gonna cut the twig out because we're gonna save that to put in at the end, because I wanna use those twigs to definitely to my advantage when I'm putting them in. So I'm getting some glue on this one. We're gonna come down a little bit right in here and fluff these out. Ooh, look at that. Let's do the greenery down here at the bottom. This stem, we're just gonna take and tear it down. Now, if you go to the supply list and you see some are password protected, that's because those are exclusively for our design school students. So just know if it's one of those, you won't have access to it unless you're in our class. Now I'm gonna fluff this out and separate it all where it's really looking good. There's my twigs I wanna save because I'm gonna treat those like the crowning glory that they are gonna be. All right, let's take and put a couple of these down here. And I know I'm gonna want one kind of coming in front of the ears down here at the bottom. Let's put this one here. Oh, I love that. Super cute. Look how cute this is. We got the little cluster of green berries coming up there. Oh, I love that. Look how cute. We're getting started. We're just barely getting going. And then let's have another little cluster here at the bottom. And this one can kind of come out from down below where the bow is going to be down here. Look at that. Isn't that going to be fun? So as of right now, we are saving a couple of pieces of greenery, and then we are going to be popping some of these fun mums in here too that are really full. They have that really good center. But we've got to get the bows in first because we're going to take up the real estate. If you need the link to when we made these bows and you didn't see how to make these bows, just let us know. They're also on the supply list for this project. But the long bow is going to come in and it's going to be right down here at the bottom. It's going to go right in this section with the carrots. And I'll put this right in here. Oh, it's going to be so cute. So excited about it. I'm going to slide it right in. Okay, and we're going to come back and tie this in tight. I'm trying to weave it back through the grapevine. All right. So once it's in, I'm going to trim off its little tail of the cable tie. But now you've got to go to work fluffing it up, okay? because you've compacted it a little bit, and we want to make sure, I want that ear to be kind of coming out the center of the bow. Yeah, it's perfect. Let me show you. Oh, look at it. Stinking cute. I can move it up a little since we're working on the bottom. Really, really cute. And that little bit of gold in that ribbon pulls in the gold from the ears. That was all part of the plan. So when I walk you through a design, I'm teaching you how to do that. And that's something you learn every week in design school, how to pull those elements together. And the mechanics behind what we're doing. And of course, the techniques and tips that I've learned over the past 20, I think we're 27. However many, a long time. A long time. A lot of years. Oh, look how pretty. Bows in, secure, very nice. Now my next bow goes at the top, so let's bring the wreath down. In this bow, we're gonna shift the angle on it just slightly so it matches the angle of the ears, and it's gonna tuck in right here. Those ears coming out the top of the bow is just perfect. So grab your cable tie. We're gonna run it around a few pieces of the grapevine here, and I'll just tuck it in. I am paying attention to my angle I'm putting it on, because to me, that's a really important detail. And once again, something we do in design school is we talk about options for placement and why I am picking the one I'm picking. And how to find the end of the cable tie. No, I found it. Tuck it in. Tuck it in. Trim it off. And then I want to hide that little bit, that little fat part of the cable tie. I just want to make sure it's not going to be visible. Oh, look how cute these little ears are coming out. I love that. All right, and just pull this all out. Look how cute. That black and white check is popping. So our bows are working opposite each other, and look how cute. We're doing really good. I love this overlapping the carrots. Okay, now I'm gonna cut these berries out right here because I want them a little bit shorter. So that's okay. If your stem needs to be just a little bit shorter, just trim it. We can come in and fix that. Now, I've got some greenery we're gonna kind of add at the end, but I'm ready to get these cute little puff balls in. And in this case, we're gonna not use the leaves. I'm just gonna push them down. These remind me of like, I speak for the trees. You know, put it in the comments. Okay, I'm gonna trim these down on this bush so we get them all into individual stems. Now, these are just so fun because they almost look like little bunny tails. They're so poofy, but they've got that pop of orange that we've got going in this whole design. So once I trim them all down, here they are. Now I'm gonna take and pair them up together where they go into twos. And our first goal is we're gonna try to get a couple tucked in, just kind of tight to the bow to start with because they're so stinking cute. So let's put a couple here at the top. I love these. And so it kind of looks like the little bunny tail is orange. And we make a little fat little, it's flowers, but I still like that little poofy part. Nice, 2 there. Let's go 2 up above here, and we're gonna make them into their own little cluster. And then off screen here, if you see me, I'm dipping them into glue. They're going into glue. So if you don't know what a glue skillet is, we can definitely show you and tell you all about that. Just ask in the comments. And these 2 will go right here. And then we're gonna work 2 on this side of the bow. A longie and a shorty, and these are gonna come out a little bit more. We wanna work on developing the lines that we have created and kind of reinforce them with our floral choices and our greenery, and then we do it with our twigs too. And we get really good lines. All right, now down here at the bottom, I'm gonna do a tall one and a short one. And here, I'm gonna pop some right above the little ears. They're so cute. Get a good amount of glue on there when you're going in. I'm gonna pop these in right here. Perfect. And then I like to give them a little bend where their little floral heads kind of come forward. Okay, so we got so far all of those. Whoa, it's so cute. Ooh, I love it. All right, let's come down. Now, I'm gonna have a couple coming out the bottom too. And I'm gonna take it, get a lot of glue on this, right down the bottom of the bow. Push this in right here. And give it a twist up. Ooh, I like that. I gotta turn these leaves forward. Can't have them backwards. And then I think I'll take the last 2 here, kind of rocking out the right side here. I'm just gonna take this, go right into the wreath base, and these will be just right on this side. How cute is that? And I'm gonna give a little bit of a bend. Okay, oh yay! All right, I got a great shape going. Some of my funnest part, it's the funnest. We're gonna put those twigs in. I'm gonna show you how. So we got to do twigs. We're going to finish up with our little bit of greenery. And the thing we want to do with the greenery at this point is we had a good foundation started, but now we want to soften all the edges of everything with our greenery. So I'm going to take these and cut them into separate sections, the couple of pieces I have left, and we're going to use these to kind of soften the edges. So I know some would look great coming out of the top of the bunny head. So I'm going to put a little bit right up here, the ears, and let those just kind of say, hello, I'm here for the party. And just shoot right between the ears. We've got some other fern up here, so let me make sure it's not backwards. I don't like it backwards. And then I need a little bit more kind of supporting this piece here. So I'm going to take this one, the green berry, and we'll kind of come down a little bit. So when I say reinforcing the line, like we have a direction going, and we want to reinforce it with some other flowers to kind of, our greenery in this case, to kind of support the shape we've got going. I'm going to even bring a little bit of it out. Come out a little bit more way. I like it. All right, now over to this side where we got the carrots. Automatically my bow is like anchoring hard down here at the bottom. It looks amazing, but I could use some more greenery to soften up into the carrots. So I'm going to do the same thing over there. I'm going to cut this spray that we already had broke down into half, and then we'll bring it in. Okay, so what has to happen is I'm going to have this go out between our little pom-pom mums and pop it in right here. And now it kind of overlaps those carrots and softens them. I love that. In design school, we call that breaking the plane of different elements, and it's a big deal to me and really important. Now, I'm going to tuck in behind the bow a little bit here, just to fill in with the other pieces of greenery. I got some cute little, oh, I'm hitting my ribbon. Let me reload it with glue. So if you start hitting something, you lose your glue. There we go. I'm going to tuck that in right there. Okay, and then let's go back on the left. Man, this is cute. And then I'm going to kind of come, maybe just a little bit here, kind of going up into the other bow from this way. Just where they're slightly clashing here. Oh, that's so cool. These ears are there. Oh my gosh. Okay, as promised, twig time. It's twig time. The twigs are going to come in. I'm going to use the twigs just at the top because I love, look at our down bow. Like, this bow is crushing it. And I think we can just use the twigs at the top to kind of balance it out a little bit with the shape. So I'm just going to take these, and I like to curl them because that's fun. Curl them all up, and then we're going to shape them up how we want. Just like we did the ears. You can shape all this. When you're shopping with us on Coolies.com, the stuff we sell, we really try to have good quality pieces that have good wires and bases, so you can make pieces to last a long time that you're really proud of. Or if you want to become a seller and we help you learn how to do that, I want to make sure you know I really believe in selling quality products so your customers come back year after year. And that starts with great quality supplies to build your product out of. And then of course the great mechanics I'm going to teach you in design school, and the combination of all that and the community that you're going to find in our class is going to make you love designing like I do. Look how cute. Blue Merinos. You got to make this super duper adorable. I love how it turned out. Just ask for the supply list. We'll be happy to provide it for you. And guess what? I'll see you next time, Blue Merinos. Go have fun with flowers.